Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to my yoga time. Today's class is another hips and hamstrings class. So I do have a strap for this class. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can always improvise with a belt or even a tie will do the trick. And I've also got 2 blocks close by. So if you don't have blocks, you can always improvise with a rolled up towel instead. So when you're ready, let's come down onto your back. Coming into the reclined butterfly pose. So soles of the feet to meet, let the knees fall out wide. And if you find that your hips need support here, you can always use your blocks or your rolled up towel and place them underneath the legs. So let's rest with our arms next to the body, palms to face the ceiling. Position the tip of your tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. So you'll feel a little space between the top and the bottom teeth, keeping the jaw relaxed. And finding a slight tone in the back of your throat for Ujjayi breath. So practicing a little mindful movement here as you inhale, sweep the arms out by the side and take them above the head. Fingertips can meet. A moment to pause there, and then as you exhale, sweep the arms back down. So you might like to run your fingertips along the floor. Begin the breath before the movement. And next time you take those arms overhead, let's keep them overhead, holding onto opposite elbows with the hands. And as you inhale now, breathe down into the hips and thighs, the lower belly, the lower back. And then holding the breath for 1 or 2 counts before exhaling slowly. Notice when you exhale the body softening into the pose. We're only here for 3 more breaths. Can you witness all 3 breaths? And on your next inhalation, let's bring those knees together, bring the arms down. A moment to squeeze those knees into the chest. So from here, moving into reclined pigeon, left leg. So straightening the left leg, take the ankle to the knee. So option 1 is as you are, otherwise cactus arms, take those arms out to the side and lift the right foot up off the mat. So using a little strength. So a little tone here for the hip flexors. It's important that we focus on strengthening and lengthening. We want to avoid overstretching. And lower that right foot back down to the mat. Take a hold of your strap now. Take the strap around the ball of the foot. And extend the foot up towards the ceiling. So we will just move the hips just a touch to the left, not too far. Option to straighten and relax that right leg. So you should feel here that your left side waist is a little shorter than the right because that left leg is lifted. So try to reach the outer left hip down, and you might even turn the heel in a little to help with that. And a little tone through the inner thighs. It's as though there's a scissor action happening through those legs. Breathing into the left leg. So from here, take the strap in your right hand, left hand to the side. As you exhale, bring that left leg over to the right, just 45 degrees, and then come back to center. Exhaling over, and inhaling to center. And next time we'll come all the way over into your twist. And of course you can use your block underneath the foot or the leg for support if you need. Now you might choose to continue to hold the strap, or if you can reach the foot, take a hold of the foot. And option to stay exactly as you are, or if it's available for you and there's no discomfort in your back, we'll take a quad stretch with the right leg. So just move the right leg back a little, bend the knee and collect that foot as well. So let's take a few breaths here with resistance between the feet and the hands. So push the feet into the hands, pull the hands onto the feet. Remember to breathe. And soften that effort, that push-pull effort. Just relax into the pose. 3 more breaths. Can you be with all 3? And let's release. As you exhale, return to your back. You can remove the strap. And just take a very brief moment in Savasana. Just want you to feel into the left and the right side of the body. Left side should be feeling a little bit longer. And then when you're ready, let's move into reclined pigeon on the right side. So right ankle to the left knee. If you can, cactus arms and raise that left foot off the floor. And release. Strap around the ball of the right foot now. Option to straighten and relax the left leg. Try to reach the outer right hip down. And breathe into the right leg. Where attention goes, energy flows. And taking the strap in your left hand, right arm out to the side, exhaling 45 degrees over to the left, and then inhale back to center. And coming all the way over this time, either holding onto the strap or take a hold of the foot if you can reach. Option here to reach for that left leg as well, coming into your quad stretch. So a few active breaths here, creating resistance between the feet and the hands. And then soften that effort. 3 more breaths. On your third exhalation, release the pose and return to your back. Release the strap. Let's take those hands underneath the bottom now. We're going to come up to seated, straightening the legs, pressing through the balls of the feet. Head lifts up off the mat. Your drishti is your toes. Slowly lower those legs down. We'll hover those feet a couple of inches above the floor before hinging your way up to seated. So let's roll over onto all fours, coming into your tabletop position. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, we'll curl those toes under. Inhale into your back bend, exhale to round the spine. Keep moving with your breath. And this time as you exhale, rounding the spine, pressing into the pads of the fingers as you take those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Sending your chest towards your thighs. Inhale your left leg up. Option 1 is as you are. Option 2, lift up that hip, point the knee to the ceiling and look under your armpit. Keep that left foot nice and flexed as though you're trying to kick something away. And then inhale to straighten, square the hips, step that foot through, find your low lunge, right knee down to the mat. So here we want to try and drag the left foot back, right knee forward. So you're trying to squash the mat with your legs as you bring those arms up. So that's going to give a little more stability around those hips and the low back. Lift the chin and move the throat forward. Turn those pinky fingers in. Inhale. Exhale, half pyramid pose. Take those hips back. We'll point those left toes to the ceiling. Of course, you can use your blocks here if you need to. Try and keep the tailbone lifted and try and drag the heel back. So we're not going to fold over the leg. We'll stay nice and high. And then from here, walk the hands forward. I'm going to rock back and come up to the top of your mat. Feet are hip width apart. Let's inhale halfway up. Bring the arms with you. So strong in the back, strong in the core. And exhale to fold. Coming up again, this time chair pose. Bend the knees, squeeze the heels in. And fold. Halfway up again, bring those arms with you. Exhaling to lower. Chair pose once again. And folding down. And from here, let's take your left leg back. Low lunge, left knee to the mat. Bring the arms up as you inhale. Again, try and drag the right foot back, left knee forward. Deepen your breath. Inhale. And exhale, hands down. Find your half pyramid pose. So hips come back, straightening that right leg. Drag the heel back and try and lift your tailbone. And let's come forward once again. So option 1, step up to your ragdoll. If it's available for you, or step up into your yogi squat. So take your right foot out to the right a little bit. Heel can turn in, toes can turn out. You're going to rock back and step your left foot up, bending both knees. So positioning the elbows here to the inner knees, and you want to create resistance there. Elbows press to the knees, knees press to the elbows. Of course, if there's any pain in your hips or knees, then take your ragdoll and skip this position. And let's transition here. Take those hips up. Heel toe those feet in a little bit closer so they're hip width apart. Inhale, half lift, keep the fingertips down. Exhale and bow. Let's pistol grip the big toes. So middle finger and pointer finger, loop around the big toe. If you can, elbows will bend out to the side. So feel here as though you're trying to slide the feet away from one another. Tailbone will lift. Little tone through those shoulders as well. So don't just let them hang. Try and lift the shoulders up towards your hips. Inhale halfway. Release the toes, take the right foot just a little bit wider, and then step your left leg back, coming into lizard pose. So the hands here are on the inside of the right leg. Now, of course, if your hips are quite tight and you need support, you could always use your blocks underneath those hands. So a few choices here. If you're staying exactly as you are, I want you to press down through that big toe knuckle and pull the knee in. Feel like you're trying to drag the hands back and send the heart forward. So option to stay exactly as you are, or if it's available for you, go a little lower and come down to those forearms. And even here, I'm still trying to squash the mat in between the feet. So try and pull that right foot back, left foot forward. And let's return to the palms. We're going to transition into a wide-legged forward fold now. So turning the feet so they're parallel to the short side of the mat, toes in, heels out a little. And from here, hands underneath the shoulders. Let's inhale halfway up. Exhale to fold. And again, so as you come halfway up, imagine you're trying to bring in a little back bend into your forward bend. Last one. Then be sure to press the feet away from one another. Try and lift the arches of your feet and the knees. Folding down now, you can press those palms down and try and slide them forward. Inhale, come halfway up. We're going to walk our hands to the back of the mat now, coming into lizard pose on this side. So both hands are going to be on the inside of that left leg. So same as before, option to stay exactly as you are, pressing down through that left big toe knuckle. Hands reach back, heart sends forward. Or option to go a little lower, down onto those forearms. And let's return to the palms and return to your wide-legged forward fold. So option to keep the hands on the ground as we did before, or feel free to interlace those fingers and allow the arms to fall over the body. Keep those quads engaged, keep lifting up the kneecaps, avoid hyperextending through the backs of the knees. So depending on your knees and hips, you might choose to stay exactly as you are, or if it's available for you, lower those hands down to the floor, a little bend in the knees. We're going to walk the hands over towards your left foot, straighten your right leg. Now when you straighten this leg, pull up that kneecap, engage the quad. We're going to transition over to the other side. So you might choose to walk the hands along the ground, or for a little more of a challenge, you can bring one hand into prayer, or maybe both hands into prayer. And the next time you come to the right side, return to your lunge, rock back and step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Coming up via your chair pose once again. Squeeze the heels in. And all the way up. Well done. So from here, a little balance pose now. Transition the weight into your right leg and raise the left knee. So option to hold onto the knee with the hand, or if it's available for you, pistol grip that big toe, straighten the leg, and we take the leg over to the left. So you could take the knee to the left or the foot. If you're feeling stable, feel free to take that right arm up and take your gaze over to the right. So for a little stability here, find resistance between the hand and the foot. Well done. We're going to come back to center now. Bring that leg forward. Release the toe. If you had the knee, straighten the leg. We're going to try and hold that leg up. A little more strength work for that hip flexor. Well done. And then lower that leg down. Half sun salute. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. And exhale to bow. So if you know that your balance is a little tested and you've got blocks close by, you might like to bring one over now and take it to the outside of your right foot on the flat side. When you're ready, reverse swan dive to come all the way up. Moving into your eagle pose now, hands to the heart center, raise the left leg. Bend your right knee and then cross left leg over the right. So the block is there if you need support, or if you can wrap the foot around the calf muscle. So we want the thighs to press here. When you're ready, take the arms out, crossing right arm over the left. Any shoulder concerns, keep the right arm straight, otherwise bend that elbow and find your bind. So here the legs and the arms are trying to escape from one another. Inhale to come up, hands to the hips, lift up that left knee. And take the foot behind you about 1 meter, preparing for your pyramid pose. Let's take the arms out to the side. Push through the heels of the palms and try and pull the fingers back. Roll the shoulders forward and down. From there, take a mudra with your hands. Roll your wrists, roll your shoulders forward and down. And then take the hands behind you. Option 1, hold the elbows. Option 2, find your reverse prayer. Press the feet away from one another, lift the heart, and as you exhale, fold forward. Drishti is your big toe. Lift the elbows a little. Keep stretching the mat with your feet. Let's come all the way back up. Release those hands and step to the top of your mat. Take a hold of the right knee now, option 1. Option 2, pistol grip, that big toe. Take the leg out to the side. Feel free to float left arm up. Maybe turn the head to the left. Let's return to center. Again, we're going to release the foot, try and hold that leg up. If you're holding the knee, straighten the leg. And lower down. Half sun salute. Inhale. And exhale. If you know you need your block for your eagle pose, take it to the other side now. Half lift. Forward fold. Reverse swan dive. Right leg lifts, left knee bends, and crossing at the legs. Arms out to the side. Left arm over the right. Find your bind if it's available for you. Feel that resistance between the arms and the legs. And let's release. Hands to the hips. Take that right foot back a meter. Foot is on a 45-degree angle. Same as before, a little nerve tensioning through the arms. So you can press through the heels of the palms, pull the fingers back, roll the shoulders forward and down. And then take your mudra, roll your wrists, roll your shoulders. And either collect opposite elbows with the hands or take that reverse prayer. Press the feet away from one another as you lift the heart and hinge from the hips. Let's lower those hands down to the floor now. Step it back into your downward facing dog. So for a little tractioning along the spine here, see if you can lift up the tip of your pinky toe and maybe even the second, third and fourth as well. Keep stretching the mat, feet pressing away from the hands. Inhale and exhale, coming down into a wide-legged child's pose. So knees as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. Sink those hips back. So option to keep those arms out in front, or if it feels okay for your shoulders, bring the elbows a little closer and take those hands into prayer above the head. And follow your next inhalation, coming out of the pose. We'll come to a seated position. So a moment in Dandasana, your staff pose, so the legs are straight here. It's quite an active pose, so you want to pull up those kneecaps, quads are engaged, hip flexors are toned. Hands are next to the hips, palms press down and try and slide them forward. Of course, if your arms are too short, body too long, you can always use blocks underneath your hands. From here, we'll drop the chin and move the neck back. And let's bend this left leg now. Cross your left leg over the right leg. So the knees are nearly stacked. If this is not an option for you, you can always take your head to knee pose and place the sole of the foot to the inner thigh instead. When you're ready, bring the arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, folding forward. Not all the way, just a little, and then come back up. So we'll do this 2 more times. A little downward pressure through that right heel. This 3rd time is the last time, so the hands can land wherever they reach. Maybe it's the calf. If you can reach the foot, push the foot into the hands, pull the hands into the foot. And let's release, come all the way back up. Take a hold of this left foot now, hands either side, and we'll straighten the leg. Bending the knee and placing the foot to the outside of the right knee. So we're going to take a twist here, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. Or of course you can hook that arm around the elbow as well, around the knee, sorry. Left palm pressing down and trying to slide away. Do find resistance between your left shin and the right leg, so press them in towards one another. So another way to create a bandha, a lock around your hips. And then we're deepening the breath here to deepen your twists. Let's return to the front. Release that left leg. 2 breaths in Dandasana, your staff pose. A great pose to reset, realign. And then when you're ready, we're going to place that right knee over the left. So a little downward pressure through the outside blade of the foot and that left heel. Arms coming up. Exhale and hinge forward. Inhale to come back up. So this forward fold is a little more intense on the hamstring because you've got the weight of that top leg. So if it is too intense, you can always bend the left leg a little, even place your rolled up towel or a block underneath. And let's release. Taking hold of that right foot now, leaning back, straightening the leg. And prepare to twist. Returning to the front, releasing that right leg. So we'll give these legs and hips a little break now. We're going to recline onto your back, coming down into a gentle upper back bend. So if you've got a towel, then place that rolled up underneath your shoulders. Otherwise, one block under the shoulders. If you've got a second block, you might like to place that underneath the head. So when you're ready, let's recline. So if you'd like to go deeper, you can always remove the block underneath the head and bring that head down to the mat. Let's take those arms out to the side, palms to face the ceiling. And just allow those legs to relax. Just leave them straight. And let them give in to gravity. And breath awareness into the heart center. And let's release the pose now. You can bend the knees, either roll off your blocks or if you need to, come halfway up to seated. Recline for Savasana, and if you've got 2 blocks or your rolled up towel or even a pillow, I encourage you to place them underneath the hamstrings. Turn the palms to face the ceiling, shoulders tucking under. You might even like to take a mudra through the hands once again, connecting index finger and thumbs, softening the forehead, and letting the eyes roll back. Let's inhale a little deeper now. Swallow if the mouth is dry. Wiggle toes and fingers. Feel free to stretch if the urge arises. Finding your way to your preferred side. And then coming up to seated. Thanks, yogis. I hope you enjoyed the practice today. If you haven't done so, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube, and not just my channel, but anyone else that you watch on a regular basis. Wishing you a wonderful day.